This video introduces the Destination Earth Sea Ice Decision Enhancement Service, known as DESIDE. Ships operating in the polar regions encounter hazards that present elevated levels of risk and more severe consequences when accidents occur. The DESIDE service utilizes Destination Earth system capabilities and data to provide comprehensive sea ice and related information for policy and operational decision makers in the Baltic Sea, European Arctic, and other polar regions. The DESIDE drivers are first to support regulatory compliance by delivering short-term forecasts of ice, meteorological, and ocean conditions to meet the requirements of the IMO Polar Code for ships operating in the polar regions. And second, to help in the understanding of climate change effects by providing long-term data on changing ice and other conditions. The DESIDE objectives are first, to aggregate diverse information sources and provide common products across jurisdictional boundaries. Second, to provide forecast products to improve decision-making by users. And third, to customize delivery of products to different user communities based on their needs. Benefits to polar operations and society include increased safety of life and property, pollution reduction from efficient route optimization that minimizes fuel consumption and emissions, and protection of sensitive environmental areas. The DESIDE landing page is found at decide.polarview.org. It contains background information about the service. To access the DESIDE dashboard, click on Dashboard in the top menu or under DESIDE Services. Then click on Dashboard and pan and zoom to your area of interest. Click on Select Indicator, and in this menu you can choose from several capabilities, which are algorithms that process data. 5 of these capabilities are described in the next sections. Capability 1. The data visualization and analysis capability allows a wide variety of data sets to be visualized and analyzed at different times and in different regions of interest. Data are grouped by topic, such as icebergs, sea ice, seawater, waves, and wind. In this example, we'll choose ice concentration. The left panel shows the legend for the data set and allows the date being visualized to be changed and the opacity of the layer to be varied. To draw a region of interest for the analysis, choose the Select Area on Map tool, click and drag a bounding box, then select a start and end date for the analysis. And in this case, we'll choose 1 year's worth of data. Then hit Execute, and a graph of the data statistics for the region over the chosen time period is created in the lower right panel. Hovering over the graph shows the statistics for a specific time. Capability 2. The DESIDE harshness indicator generates harshness maps based on wave height, sea ice concentration, and iceberg density data. The user can set the magnitude of each variable that is considered harsh and the weight that is given the variable. Click on the Select Indicator button and choose Harshness capability. Use the Select Area on Map tool to draw the region of interest for the analysis. Choose the start and end year for the analysis. Select the maximum acceptable value and the weight for each of the variables. Set the weight to 0 for variables that should not be included. Click on Execute. The results are shown on the map, and the legend is shown in the bottom left panel. Since the algorithm can take some time to run, previous results are available for retrieval. Capability 3. The DESIDE structure icing indicator assesses the risk to structures, such as ships, from freezing sea spray. The rate of ice buildup due to supercooled sea spray freezing on contact with surfaces is a function of the air and sea surface temperatures, the wind speed, and the saltwater freezing point. Click on the Select Indicator button and choose Icing Predictor Index. Use the Select Area on Map tool to draw an area of interest for the analysis. Choose a start and end year and click on Execute. The results are shown on the map, and the legend is shown in the left panel. Since the algorithm takes some time to run, previous results are available for retrieval. Capability 4. There can be a long wait for the next satellite image to be received, during which sea ice can move a considerable distance. The DESIDE image warp capability transforms the current satellite image using a sea ice drift forecast to simulate what the ice in a region should look like in the future. The algorithm uses the NextSim model for ice drift forecasts up to 6 hours ahead. Click on the Select Indicator button and then choose the Polar Warp capability. You'll need to zoom in to start seeing the Sentinel-1 images. Use the menu at the bottom to select the date that you're interested in, and you can fine-tune it using the menu on the left. Use the Select Area tool to draw your region of interest. Then select the number of ground control points you want to use in the processing. A higher number gives you much better results, but it also takes much longer to run. At this point, you can hit Execute to run a new process. In this case, we're going to retrieve a run that has already been made. We'll remove the bounding box and remove the Sentinel-1 image, and you can see the results of the run here. It's been processed over 6 one-hour increments. This would be what things look like after 1 hour, after 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Capability 5. The Polar Operational Limit Assessment Risk Indexing System, or Polaris, is a methodology to assess the risk posed to a ship by ice conditions in relation to the ship's assigned ice class. It uses the WMO standard sea ice charts as the basis for the calculation. Click on the Select Indicator button and choose Polaris. Using the calendar at the bottom, we can choose the date that we're interested in. Zoom out to the area of interest, and on the map we see the Polaris algorithm output. And over on the left menu, we can see the definitions of the different colors. The Polaris calculation depends on the type of ice and whether it's decayed ice in the summer. The polar class of the ship ranges from polar class 1 down to non-ice strengthened. You can see that for a polar class 1 ship, everything's green. It can go pretty much where it wants. The details of the Polaris information are available for each polygon when you hover over the polygon. If we lower the ice class, you can see that there are areas that the ship should not go or only go with great caution. The Polaris calculation is based on underlying ice chart information, and you can see that information by choosing the type of visualization. So rather than Polaris, we can choose the ice chart concentration, and again get more details, or the stage of development. Information about each of the ice chart classes is also included in the legend. Thank you. We hope you enjoy using the DESIDE service.